Hey Virgo, and welcome back to the journey of self. I am your intuitive tarot reader as well as your host, Brandy, and this is the journey. Okay, Virgo. So, last month was deep, right? Okay, cool. Here we are in Cancer season. I'm giving a public service announcement for Cancer season. All right. So, I think that at first I was like, I don't even think Virgos need this. Because I feel like y'all are in your feelings enough where I don't even need to really say this, but it's not even like y'all are in your feelings so much. I feel like y'all are in your feelings, but for the most part, you may be a little afraid to act on what you feel. So I don't feel like I have to tell you not to overreact for most of you this month, but I'm going to give the public service announcement anyway. Why not? So Cancer season is a time to sow seeds. Okay. But at the same time, it's a time where a lot of people experience dragging. Could be their first dragging of the year. It could be one of several. Listen, laughing is the medicine to sadness. Laughing is the medicine to disappointment. Laughing is the medicine to anger. So I laugh. And to every good joke, there is a sense of or a little bit of tragedy. That's what makes it funny. As Stewie says, it's funny because it's true. What do I mean by dragging? Cancer season is rough for people because this is why all the tarot readers are saying, oh my God, Cancer season is going to be so crazy. Because the energies that come along with Cancer season make you look inward. Sometimes they are saddening. Sometimes they are depressing. But they're signals to make you look inward and do inner work. A lot of times when people feel like changes are coming, it's kind of like the death card. Everybody deals with death differently. That is what is depicted in the death card. But the death card, let's remember, it means change, right? And also like the death card, it's the type of change that you may not be able to stand in front of. It's going to change no matter what you do, leaving feelings of being out of control, saddened, helplessness, desperation. So what does this look like? This looks like people being in their feelings, lashing out. It looks like people, especially with a retrograde running through it, people calling you up that you haven't spoken to in years, telling you that they're deeply in love. Or it could look as casual as someone you know who's calling you to, as I always call it, pulse check you. Like, hey, how you doing? How's your marriage doing? You're good? Are you good? Are you still married? It looks casual like that sometimes, right? But then we have the dragging. The dragging comes when we don't want to change and we stand in front of changes, or we don't want to look inward. We don't want to look at what is calling out to us to change in our lives. We get dragged behind it as the universe, as the planetary movements. The energy comes in trying to change things dramatically, and an eclipse running through as well. Seriously? Which is all about change, which is all about looking toward the North Node and then things from the South Node coming up, which is past and future. Cancer season is a birthing process, a time to sow seeds. It is not necessarily a time to reap. So, as I said to everyone else, if you're feeling a real need to lash out, to let somebody have it, this may not be the season, especially with the eclipse rolling through. There are some dramatic changes that are happening, even in the area of emotion, right? You feel this way today and tomorrow you feel completely different. However, Karma has been showing up strongly for you, Virgo, ever since last month and maybe before. Karma keeps reappearing for you. I mean, it's not that she keeps reappearing, but this audit is not over yet. As you know, I always call Karma the tax auditor, trying to see how you're operating, your modus operandi, right? Back to the birthing process of it all. It makes it easy if you simply surrender and breathe through it. That's it. Breathe through it. This is not the time to hold your breath, Virgo. This is not the time to necessarily be patient. It is the time to be ruthlessly honest with yourself. Ruthlessly honest with yourself. It is not the time to coddle people. I'm not telling you to tell them to go fuck themselves, but what I'm saying is it's not the time to coddle people. Pay attention. Watch the way people are acting. Welcome. You may be meeting the real them. Seriously. I feel like people are walking around with their heart outside their shirts. Literally. Outside their chest, outside their shirt. Literally. Just pay attention to how they're dealing with the season. Psychologists will tell you that you'll never know someone until you see them deal with stress. You'll never know the real them. Let's get into it. A little preliminary talk to my Virgs. So, ever since last month when I did your reading, I really liked the setup. So I decided to continue with that. So the first thing we're going to do is what Spirit is trying to offer you, right? Kind of like blessings. Then we'll move into blockages, starting with blessings. The first card that you guys have is the Dark Mysteries. This card is about a test and a gift. This card is about releasing fears and working with your shadow attributes of yourself. Shadow attributes are going to be the things that we kind of bury down, the things that our ego lies to us about to help us get out of bed in the morning, the things that are part of our pain body, in other words, traumatic events that have happened to us and the way we've processed them. That's going to be all the things that are in the shadow attributes of oneself. And then there's the negative characteristics that maybe we don't like about ourselves, or our default when we're hurt, when we're angry, when we're lost, when we're desperate, our default type of operation system, right? Like, how do you react when your ego is bruised? How do you react when somebody pisses you off? You know, those lower vibrational personality attributes. When we just don't give a fuck. That stuff. So, Spirit is trying to offer you a gift as well as a test. This test may come in the form of people that you can't stand. It may come in the form of people coming back to see if you have learned the value of self-love and the value of boundaries. This may come back as addiction. Not that you're going to be addicted again, but you get tempted to feed into an addiction. However it goes, Spirit is trying to say that you need no permission to be yourself and to be happy and to do what it is that you feel you want to do on your highest vibrational level. There's no need to get permission from anyone. Then we have stay true and be in your power. So this card is about your divine birthright. This is also about the same thing, a rite of passage. Spirit is saying it's time to stand up, stand your ground, be you, be true to yourself. Once again, no permission needed. Then we have the healing chamber Yeah. See what I mean, Virgo? This is the thing. As you deal with your stuff, and then you learn to love the bad and the good of you. Because let me tell you something. It's okay, right, to be ashamed of how you act when somebody pisses you off. But there are times when you're right to be angry and your wrath is necessary. So it's all relative, right? It's all relative to how you look at it. That's the thing about our shadow attributes. Some of us are dangerous when fucked with. It's part of our personalities, such as a Scorpio. Dangerous when fucked with, but looking for truth and honesty in the world. Like, I'm using Scorpio as an example, right? Scorpios are looking for truth and honesty within the world. They have a really good habit of digging deep into people, and they'll accept what they find for the most part. But when a Scorpio is fucked with, they're really dangerous. That's part of their shadow, and it's a weapon because everyone has and needs a defense mechanism, right? So you guys are the versions of the zodiac, natural healers of the zodiac. I've never met a Virgo that didn't bring something amazing into my life. Seriously. But you guys also have Pisces in your 7th house. And if you talk to astrologers that understand the personality types of both of those signs, they'll tell you that you like a good fixer-upper, loyal to a fault. Loyal to a fault. Now, remember, we were talking about relativity, how some things are good and some things are bad depending on how you look at them. It depends on the situation. So when you're looking at your shadow attributes, remember that, Virgo. It's not always a bad thing. It just maybe didn't work out and wasn't the tool needed in certain situations, making it a bad thing. Okay? So don't take it as though you're not good enough, or as though you're not a good person, or as though you're flawed. I mean, because that's not the case. The case is trying to learn how to put all the pieces together, chariot energy, taking dualities of one thing, opposite opposing energies to move forward to success, chariot energy. If you ever look at the chariot, they have the chariot is being led, like the original Rider-Waite chariot, right? Being led by the Sphinx. Being led by the Sphinx. Now let's think about the Sphinx for a second. The Sphinx was a animal man totem in Egypt. Why? Because the idea was to be ourselves as humans, which are animals, but use our mind to control the animal body, making us one of the most powerful creatures on earth. That's why the chariot is led by the Sphinx, half man, half animal. And that's the thing, Virgo. And that's the thing. Some of y'all are seeing the animal inside of yourselves. Some of y'all want to get savage. You may be a little ashamed. Some of you just want to be fucking happy and be free. And you're ashamed because you're so used to being maybe some of the better instincts or the better parts of oneself. And then some of you have not been operating so well. You've been the baser parts of yourself for quite some time. And now you're ready to be good or to be better, right? Whatever that means to you. Okay. All right. This month, Spirit is offering you a chance to do either one of those directions. That's why I felt like I didn't really need to give you the public service announcement. I feel like Virgo fucking deserves to do whatever they want right now. Who am I, right? I don't know. I'm just saying. Because there's some other cards that I have for you. Let's get into it. Now we're going to start talking about the blockages. Remember, the blockages are like anything else, relative. Sometimes they're not blockages. They're things, the cards are telling you things you can do to get over your blockages. Let's talk about it. The first card you guys have out is liberation. Rapunzel. These are fairy tale oracle cards taken from the Brothers Grimm stories. You may remember some of these from Disney, but Disney watered them down quite a bit. This is Rapunzel. You are currently within a situation that has you feeling trapped, isolated, and hidden away from the world. You may have accepted this lot as your own for some time, but recently you have come to a new awareness of what lies behind the tower walls. That you've shielded yourself and taken yourself away to be safe. But in a way, you have become a prisoner. This card or this message can sometimes come to you when you have been deliberately isolated from others and have not been free to make your own choices. The tower you find yourself within is not about to crumble. Freeing yourself is going to take your own strength, your own resolve. And it is going to be something you must do for yourself. You can leave. You can free yourself. You can stop holding on. And so much of this is going to rest on whether you believe you are able and worthy to live a life of greater risk and freedom with all the possibilities, all that is unknown. This card can appear for people who have protected themselves so much that they have become almost agoraphobic, and shielding even energetically has led to a huge wall built all the way around them. They are unimpeachable, but they are also alone, except for the one who has access to them. If this card has come to you, it is time for you to consider whether you wish to explore the outside world, the spaces and the places beyond the narrow yet extremely safe confines you have been imprisoned within. You have also had very little external influences. Only one powerful other has been able to influence you. And for now, you need fresh ideas, inputs, challenges to the way you have been taught to experience and see the world. The world of the tower is already behind you. In your thoughts, it is up to you. You will let down your hair and set yourself free. This card is about liberation from imprisonment, escape, release. Cut yourself free from heavy thoughts, the end of negative thinking patterns, releasing attachment to your history, changes within your own ability to create. Fate will intervene, but you must be ready. A time of waiting is complete. Freedom from heavy thought, a new perspective. Well, Virgo. Yo. Last month was crazy, right? Like, I'm just thinking about that video and like some of the things we talked about. And now here we are, right? It's so funny because we had the tower moment last month. And now this card comes out talking about a tower. Well, let's get to the next card, because this is where it's about to get a little bit. This is kind of, I feel like, definitely from last month, because just the way this card is. This card is called Water and Salt. This card is about the truth. So there's a quote from the card that says, you caused me to be killed because I told you I loved you as much as salt and water. Now you have seen what it is like to live without salt and water. Yeah. So, the message of this card is for you. And is that the message of this card, for you is that speaking the truth, the plain truth, is often punished. And you may well be punished for saying what you know to be true. But in time, it will have been more than worth it, because the time to placate and please is over. Saying how it is and why it is will be the most healing action you can possibly take at this time. Simply be prepared that in the long term, it will be rewarded. In short term, you will pay. But every moment of discomfort will have been worth it. So this card is about the basic truth of love. This card is about unadorned, unembellished truth. This card is about plain honesty. This card is about the fundamentals of life. The card is about truth and clarity. The card is about what we need to survive. This card gives a message that love is never to be tested. This is the part that we really need to focus on. This card makes a statement that anger at being unloved is pride. Anger of being unloved is pride. And lastly, the fact that pride can kill. Yeah. You know what this makes me think of? This makes me think of, because I have people who hit me up and they tell me, I left my boyfriend or I left my girlfriend, but I'm afraid of what they will do. Let's talk about shadow aspects one more time. I'm the type of person that if I tell you I don't want to be with you, you got a problem, you want to get crazy, I'm not the one. I'm not the one. So when people tell me that, I'm angered because I understand that first of all, when you tell somebody you don't like them or you don't want to be with them and they get mad, they never really fucking liked you. It was all about control anyway. It was all about control. It was all about control. And at the loss of control, they get crazy. That's really what that's about. Let's be clear. So when people hit me up and like, yo, I'm afraid, I tell them the truth. Listen, this is not the time for love and light and namaste. This is the time to be clear, set your boundaries, and call the police if you have to. Seriously. I tell them that straight up. This is not the time for that, because no one has the right to hold anyone else hostage, whether in love or in anger. And there is no such thing as holding someone hostage in love. Like true love, you want that person to be happy with or without you, as far as I am concerned. I feel like you guys should know your source. I always tell that to people when they hit me up for advice. I tell them to know their source. And basically what that means is I like to tell people where I'm coming from, because I need you to know what the basis or the ideal of what I'm thinking about is, so you can understand exactly where I'm coming from. That's it. Virgo, we talked about that last month. We talked about, because I even gave a public service announcement to the other cross watches. And I was like, listen, if you got a problem with Virgo, this ain't the time. And I also talked to you about the fact that the tower was coming down, and I think you were happy to let it come down. But this, I feel like now, is you coming to the truth within yourself. Letting it be known, like, I'm not exactly upset that this isn't working out, or I feel like I need something else. I'm not happy here. Now, this could be in any situation. This could be in any situation. This could be in love. This could be at work. This could be in just family dynamic. Virgo is like, listen, I'm done with the people pleasing. I'm over it. It is what it is. And it ain't what it ain't. And we're not going to pretend like it is just to keep the peace. That's why I feel like this, like, I know it's Cancer season and all of us should be easy. But I don't know, Virgo. I feel like these feelings that are trying to come up in you, definitely look at them. Let it happen, because These feelings are going to cause you to take action. They're going to cause you to get clear, to get clear. Like I tell everybody, pain is a signal. It's not something you live in. You can't live in pain. What you do is you observe it, figure out what the problem is, and solve the problem. Pain is simply a signal that something is wrong. Trying to find the root of it is it. Now listen. If you feel like you want to let somebody know how you feel and they get upset, well, you shouldn't be sad. It is not your responsibility to make anyone else happy. I think that we get confused with that idea. Like, we'd be like, oh, well, you don't owe anybody anything. Seriously, we don't owe anyone anything. Except maybe, when it comes to the people that we are responsible for, which are children. Children we're responsible for. Not even adult children. Right? Like, after you raise them, they gotta kind of, like my grandmother always say, every tub has to stand on its own bottom. And now my mom says it, right? But adults, I don't care if you've been together 20 years, 200 years, one lifetime, a million lifetimes. If you're ready to let it up and let it go, let it go. You know what? And then I'm getting a feeling that there are people dealing with parental issues, like with their own parents, pressures being put on them, things of that nature. And then there are people dealing with spouses. There are people dealing with maybe religious expectations. First card out is the Emperor. Second card out is the Death card. By the way, guys, it is the witching hour. So I'm a little strange on the witching hour, by the way. Then we have the Eight of Cups. Page of Pentacles. The Knight of Cups. Starting with the Emperor. The Emperor is a 4, right? And the Emperor always talks about stability. It's about structure. The structure of something is changing. Remember, we talked about the death energy, right? Change. Look at this card. In this card, we see a priest. We see a child turning away, and we see another child looking, and we see a man laying dead. This is at the site of death, which really means change, right? Now, we know that everybody deals with grief differently, right? Everybody deals with change differently. Some people get religious once faced with death, right? Some people lose faith once faced with death. Some people get angry when they lose someone or they're faced with death, right? Say, like, find out they have something terminal, right? They get angry. They lose their faith. They gain their faith. They throw caution to the wind. They're like, I'm gonna live every moment like it's my last, because it might be, you know what I mean? Like, then some people just straight give up. Like, fuck it. Like, all right, I'm gonna die, or, oh, I lost this person, I have nothing else to live for. We've seen it all. That's the point. Change is gonna come anyway, whether we like it or not. How we deal with it is our choice. How somebody else deal with it, not your problem, not your choice. Eight of Cups. The 8 always walks away to either find the 9, the 10, or the 2. What does that mean? The 8s are always about strength. They always go back to the Strength card. Strength card is about instincts. It's about confidence, right? It's about intuitive intelligence, right? I was going to say intuitive intellect. So with that being said, whatever you're walking away from, you loved genuinely. It definitely gave you some type of emotional fulfillment at one time. However, that has changed. There's a sense here with the Page of Pentacles that there is something that you're looking to upgrade. Excuse me, Crosswatcher. There's a sense that there's something you're looking to upgrade. There may be something that brings out some of the best qualities in you without force, naturally. Just a second, guys. I just want to move something. Okay, I'm back. So yeah, there's a sense that maybe there is something, like I said, that brings out the best in you. Something different than what you've experienced before. But there's also a sense that you guys may be trying to escape. You could also feel very isolated at this time, very lost in thought. Some people may be extremely self-conscious or self-aware at this time. There's a sense here that you guys, are giving support to others. Some people, though, to be honest, some people could be experimenting with drugs. I would say probably for the most part, though, like it's going to be either, this is going to sound funny, but the Knight of Cups is very in his feelings, sometimes lost in thought, and he's sometimes into escapism, right? And because he's so emotional, sometimes the Knight of Cups can do drugs for an emotional purpose. So when we think about doing drugs for an emotional purpose, I'm going to tell y'all something if you don't know. This could be someone with an addiction, right? Let me put my foot back down. Look, it's the witching hour. I told y'all I'm doing strange shit. I know it. I don't even need y'all to tell me, right? This conversation may be strange too. I don't know. I'm like this during the witching hour. I don't really do videos at this time because way too much comes through. Anyway, this could be someone with an addiction, but not necessarily the case. If it is an addiction, it's because maybe alcohol is involved, right? And that's highly addictive. However, this could be someone who is doing psychotropic drugs or like hallucinogens. I hear somebody even say, I hear it being said, somebody was like, this is not funny, but it's true. Like somebody said, I talked to God. I saw God. I talked to God. Somebody's like, my mind just went. This could have even been somebody who has taken like a trip. Because there are people who do like ayahuasca medicine. This could have been a change that was encouraged. Or some of you, I'm not encouraging drug use. Do your research, and we're adults here. Take this as it resonates with you. If some of you have been thinking about doing something like ayahuasca medicine or taking a shamanic trip, under the supervision of a shaman, that might work for you because it's been known to, some people compare it to, they say 10 years of therapy. It is known to heal addiction. It's not an addictive process. It's known to heal addiction. Here with the Emperor being clarified by the King of Cups, I feel feel like you guys are definitely trying to get in control of your emotions, trying to find some emotional stability. And I like the King of Cups in this deck because he got a cup and he got a rock. Holla at me. That's what I'm talking about. Moving forward with your shadow and your light attributes together to create wholeness and to create healthy boundaries. Yeah, I like it. There is a sense of pride being dropped here. There is a sense of pride being dropped. There is a sense of new fertility if you put your foot in the water, if you step out of your comfort zone. Somebody may be asking you why. Why the changes? And the answer is because I see it for what it is now. Or some of you are being completely stoic and you like, what you mean? What changes? I have no idea what you're talking about. This is how I've always been. This is who I always was. Okay, Virgo, cute. I feel as though you're making moves and waiting for a miracle. Making moves and waiting for a miracle. Some of you could have been dealing with someone who was extremely controlling and extremely emotionally manipulative at the same time. Some of you may be traveling, taking a trip, or moving. So now we got Aries, we got Aquarius, and we got water signs. That's Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Seeing it for what it is, the duality of life. Sometimes it rains, sometimes it's sunny. It is what it is. I'm going for what I want. There is a sense here that there is patience being needed because of the sense of waiting in the Ten of Cups. Tens are always about endings and beginnings. Something comes to a close and something else begins. So I feel like there is an ending of emotions that weren't serving you in the beginning of emotions that do. They're going to help you reach your highest point. They're going to help you level out. Because some people may have been dealing with emotional trauma for so long and had been dealing with depression for so long that you didn't maybe even know that you were living in such a state, a stoic, unresponsive state. And now emotions have come up and you're starting to see things. Something may have inspired this. This could have been someone outside of you that has inspired you to, like the card said, and I'm getting this feeling as well, something inspired you. You may have only been around a certain type of person or certain type of people for a long time. They had you thinking the world was this way. And then all of a sudden you may have met somebody new that like shattered that bullshit because it was bullshit. The reason why you were attached to these people is because you yourself were kind of stoic inside. Were kind of like just riding the waves of life. You weren't really swimming or feeling. You were just kind of going through the motions, maybe because of depression or because of a situation that may have gotten bad. You decided to kind of go numb. This could have even started early on, like in childhood. So if you're dealing with parents or something like that, this could have been a dynamic that has been started between you and your parent a long time ago. Like I said, there's a sense here that some people could have daddy issues here with the emperor, or have someone in their life that is super controlling. It could also be a mommy issue. So for the men dealing with super masculine women, you know, the controlling, curse you out type. Not very nurturing at all. The medicine is laughter. You got to see it for what it is and laugh at it. In the death card here, we got the Four of Cups. There is a sense of change coming because your taste is changing. There are things you are no longer interested in. And for people dealing with the fire sign, they could definitely be looking at you, trying to get a response. They might even be starting small fires around you. They may even be, doesn't just have to be the fire sign, but whomever, if you're leaving someone, they could very well be starting small fires around you. they may very well be trying to fuck with your emotions to get a response, to see if you're still interested. I think that Virgo is lost in thought right now and not interested anymore in the bullshit. Y'all know I love my Virgos, right? Like I said, why do I love Virgos so much? Because I've never met a Virgo that hasn't brought something amazing into my life. Virgo has seen the changes, understands them, or will very shortly, and is making calculated moves, slow, planting seeds. Like, I don't feel like I needed to give the public service announcement because all the things that are going on right now in Cancer season, Virgo already knows. They're doing these things. You guys are doing these things. Carefully planting seeds, quietly planning. I feel like some of you are working hard at work. Kind of somber though. Kind of somber, kind of quiet. Keeping it real light. There's something, the Knight of Pentacles is a protector of beautiful things. And I feel like Virgo has found something beautiful to protect, and it's dreams, hopes, aspirations. 2 more cards flew out. Let's see what they are. Yep. Standing your ground, trying to learn what you can learn. Some of you may even be going back to school to kind of upgrade your skill set because you're about to take off. Rocket. Don't get cocky, Virgo. Right? Don't get cocky. But you're standing your ground. You're not playing. Like, you're getting your shadow attributes in check, and you're not taking anybody else's shit either. I'm feeling it. Page of Cups. I feel like you're laying your burdens down. Laying your burdens down at the riverbank. Seriously. Getting fresh emotions. There could be someone that you are looking to outside of what your current situation is. There's a sense of idealized love, or you're idealizing an idea. It's helping you go toward it. It's helping it be an inspiration. It could be someone or an idea that you're idealizing, or emotions that are growing inside of you in leaps and bounds, fresh, beautiful emotions. If this is not happening to you right now, give it some time. It's coming. Especially if you've been in a depressive state. It's coming. There could also be a new emotional offer coming your direction. For those of you that may be looking to start a family, that too is coming. For the people who are looking to maybe have children, that too is coming. Fertility. For some of you, I feel like you were wearing, like you're accepting your shadow attributes, and like somebody might be like, oh, you're a dick, you ain't shit, and you like, yup, that's right, remember it. Because this person may be, or these people may be abusive in their own way, manipulative in their own way, controlling in their own way, and you got to back them up off of you, and you're accepting it. You're wearing who you are, the devil and the light inside of you, proudly, finding pride within yourself, loving you, all of you. And that's a good thing, because you know what? When we push against our shadow attributes, when we push against our subconscious and the things that we may not like, those things actually attract people to us that also too either bring those things out of us or dislike those things in us. Because it's an idea like what you don't like about you, you're going to keep attracting people who keep constantly pointing that thing out. The best thing to do is just accept oneself, and you find people who love you for all of you. As a matter of fact, the truth of the matter is this. It's like, have you ever seen somebody with a flaw? Like, not a flaw, but like someone with a unique something on them. Like, I don't know, let's say like a mole or a gap, right, in their teeth. And they don't give a fuck. They walk around, they talk, they're smiling, they're happy. And then you just kind of learn to like love it too, right? I hope that makes sense. But I know someone, right, that like I used to work with disabled people, but I've met a lot of people with disabilities that didn't even think about it. So even though they may have been disabled, you didn't think about it either because they didn't move as though it was hindering them. They accepted it and like lived their life that way. That's what I mean by it. So that's an example of that. Now, with the Eight of Cups, it's been clarified by the Death card, which is also my card of pregnancy. Right? So definite change, definite transformation. This could also be, I'm feeling strongly like there could also be an ego death, right? But I feel like people are paying attention to you, Virgo, because they see you changing. They're paying attention. They're trying to figure out your next move. I don't know that they could actually calculate that, though, because I feel like Virgo is about to do something they've never done before. And then we have the Empress. This is beautiful energy because the Empress comes after the High Priestess energy, right? The High Priestess energy being two, the idea between time and space, right? That kind of like secret knowledge, hidden knowledge, something you're kind of waiting for, right? That in between places, right? That magical space where kind of like the idea of something is given the permission to be birthed. Well, the Empress is where it grows, literally like a baby. High Priestess is where like a man and a woman decide to have a baby. The Empress is where she gets pregnant. So whatever in your life that you're hoping to grow, wherever you're looking to go, this is where it starts. Moving forward, confident in oneself, vulnerable to the world because you're strong enough to take it. Strong enough and love yourself enough that you're just going to bear it all. Who don't like it, don't like it. But guess what? They love it. You see this water back here? Dripping. They're going to love it, Virgo. They're going to love it. They're going to love your authentic self. Regardless of how flawed you may be, no one cares. No one cares. Nope. No one cares. And you're moving forward in wisdom. And it's going to look good on you. You're going to make that mole, that gap look sexy. Just saying. Eight of Wands. Going on a new journey. Some of it may not be the most pleasant. When I see this part, I see a trek. Plus it's wands, which talks about like work. Wands are always about action. There is like movement. Some of you may be going it alone. In other words, like moving on. Kind of like in the Eight of Cups. Going it alone, moving on. And it might not all be pleasant. I mean, when we think about climbing a fucking mountain, excuse me. That's the energy I'm getting off of y'all, though. I'm going to be real with y'all. Who cares? Let it hang out. And it is the witching hour. I'm strange at this time. However, climbing up a mountain, it's not easy. But it's rewarding when you get to the top, if that's something you're into. So whatever this is that you're doing, it may not be the easiest at first, but it's only going to get easier. Keeping the fours going, which is stability. Because I got 4 cards for each section or each card. I didn't even realize that. Let's keep it going though. Get another one. What did I say? Full energy. This is spiritual ascension or spiritual enlightenment. This is a leap of faith. Some people would argue that the Fool could be 0 as well as a 22nd card because it's not only the beginning but the end. This is, for those of you that this is a monetary or a real risky type of action, well, you're going to take what little you have and you're going to make it shake. Like, seriously. You're going to make it happen. But remember, if you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you're probably right also. That's the fool's energy. It is a leap of faith. If you think you can make the jump, you will. If you can't, if you think you can't, you might fall and break your neck if you hesitate. So, no hesitation. After you've made up your mind and your resolve, just constantly think of positivity. No matter what you see along the way, and everything's going to be fine. The fool energy is not self-interested. He can sometimes be thought to be unaware, but he has no self-interest. He's simply trying to experience. And he has joy and optimism, though, along the way. Moving on. Page of Pentacle, clarified by the Queen of Pentacle. So the Page of Pentacle is about employment, upgrades, and industries, right? The Queen of Pentacles is nurturing, right? As well as a hard worker. But the Queen of Pentacles likes to do things by the numbers because she knows it will work that way. So if she bakes and her grandma, like for instance, if she bakes and she has an old recipe, she's not going to switch up the recipe even if she doesn't have the time. She's just going to choose maybe not to bake that today. Or she's not going to rush it. You know what I mean? Like if the dough has to be kneaded for an hour, she's going to knead the dough for an hour. Even if it means she can't make the cookies today. Like, you know what I mean? Like she's always going to do everything kind of in order. And with this new opportunity that you're being presented with, or whatever this is you're taking on, I feel like you're going to do it in a nurturing and a practical way. For some of you, it could have something to do with another earth sign, right? For some of you, it could have something to do with a water sign. Like I said, Scorpio heavy though, because I got 2 death cards on the table. Scorpio heavy. Fire sign heavy. Air sign maybe, right? Because I only got 1 card, and that's a card of Aquarius. But everybody can't be dealing with like the same sign. So it could be any sign really, right? Ooh. For some of you, you could be dealing with somebody and you guys could have children, right? You can have children and you could be dealing with someone who also has children. You may want to make a union with this person. And the truth of the matter is, you guys could make it work. Because both of you are hard workers. Both of you are practical. And both of you are going to put the work in. The one thing I love about the Queen of Pentacles energy, as I always say, the Queen of Pentacles is like that good mom energy. Why? Because she finds usefulness in all things, in herself, in her children, in the people around her. She uses everything. She's not wasteful. So that's that type of energy. And that's what I'm saying about the opportunity, the upgrade. Whatever this upgrade, it could be an upgrade in partner, like whoever you were with, you no longer want to be with them. You're trying to move and make your next move your best move, right? Beyonce, upgrade you. And you're really just upgrading yourself. And you're now going to surround yourself with people who are like-minded, right? We're not being disrespectful to the ex. I'm just saying. I think you may have found a better match. This is in career. This is in relationships. This is in emotional well-being, practicality, maybe even saving your money. 5 of Pentacles. There's someone in your midst that probably is going to be pissed. But this person, it doesn't really matter that they're mad, because the way they act is so crazy. Like, who cares? They got a big mouth. They say whatever the fuck they want when they want. So who cares? Not only that, they have no idea where they're going and what they're doing. This person could have made it very plain to you by the way they spend money that this wasn't a practical partnership for you, because you're trying to get coins, not spend them all, right? This person could be rather materialistic. Or I have to be honest, Virgo, this could be your energy. Remember, this could go either way. However, somebody may feel left out in the cold. Or you may be feeling left out in the cold, which makes you be more practical on the choices you're making. So now we have the Queen of Cups, trying to figure out how you're partaking of your emotions, how you're partaking of other people's emotions, who you're giving your emotions to. Using your intuition, having that sixth sense. If this is a partner, this person is going to be a rider, for real. Somebody who looks out. Somebody who looks out. Like, this could be a friend that you have that is supporting you through your transition, who is telling you, you know, you're worth it. You're good enough. This is someone who is nurturing, someone who checks in on you, or you doing this to someone else. But I feel as though there's an emotional maturity type of energy here. Now, if you're saying, no, that's not it. Well, the truth of the matter is you could be dealing with someone, fire sign. Yeah, maybe fire sign because I said it, but I really want to say water sign, right? That is emotionally manipulative. They go back and forth in between nice and nasty. Because that's the Queen of Cups. If she knows how to be nice, she knows how to turn that around and be the complete opposite, correct? Shadow and light attributes. There's somebody that you guys could be looking at from afar, an opportunity or a person, something that you want to see take shape, something that you're looking to work on, or you could be getting recognition for your work. That's that upgrade. That's that promotion. Other people around you may feel left out in the cold, or you may have thought you had friends at work, like per se, or people around you that had your best interests at heart, finding out as you start to get recognition that they don't. Or if you're feeling left out in the cold, ask yourself and make sure that's not the reason, that maybe somebody is upgrading in their life and now you feel as though you don't fit in. Ask yourself about that. And if you're angry, well, then you're like the person I may have described in the beginning of the reading, Virgo. And it's okay, right? But don't be like that. If you truly care for somebody, you should want to see them do well. And if you don't even have to tell them you don't care. Maybe it's best that you take an exit out of that person's life, because you may be there for superficial reasons. If you really don't want, or if you feel like you're a little jealous, you may be there for superficial reasons. Now, remember, jealousy is love and hate at the same time. In other words, it's also a secret admission to oneself that you could have the same thing. Sometimes, like, for instance, if a person is really outgoing, people get kind of, they kind of hate. They're like, oh, she's too much. He's too much. Really? They may be thinking to themselves, subconsciously or consciously, that they wish they could be as free, or they wish they could be as bold. That's an example. Now, moving on to the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups, like I said before, is lost in thought at times, completely self-aware or self-conscious. Here with the Two of Swords, once again, aiming and shooting at something in the distance, something you may have to show patience for, or something you may have to go toward. Having issues, though, going toward this direction because in your mind you can't reconcile it, you can't resolve it, partially because you may not be completely confident in your choice, right? Like you may be hating on yourself for wanting this thing, or hating on yourself for even having to make this decision. This is a card of stalemate, right? The Two of Swords. This is a card of stalemate. The twos always go back to the High Priestess. And this is a clash of ideas. You kind of like not being able to choose, or you feeling some sort of way because you have to choose. The next card out is the Devil card. What did I say about the Knight of Cups? Now, I know y'all probably thought that was strange, right? When I was talking about drugs and the Knight of Cups, but what does the Devil card talk about? Addictions, excessiveness. This is excessive negative thinking. This is fear, anxiety. When fear is excessive, we call it anxiety, right? Paranoia, maybe. This is also addiction. This is that. That's what the Devil card is representing. Now, think about this. The Devil card is always about a choice to be chained. You don't have to be. The devil energy is best avoided. Listen, Virgo, don't overthink this. Go with your instincts. Go with your instincts. Don't overthink this. If you overthink it, it's not going to help you. It's only going to keep you stuck and slow you down. Don't overthink it. That's really the answer to whatever this is. Don't overthink it. Also, too, this goes back to what I said. This is also about manipulation and power. Ask yourself, what do you really want, and why do you want it? Yeah, if it's a superficial reason, I could see you kind of like, having to reconcile that. However, if you want to truly just be happy, it's okay. You don't have to be ashamed to want to be happy. You don't have to be ashamed to say, look, I've been going this way for so long, and now I think I want to go this way. You don't have to be ashamed. Changing our minds is why we have a mind. It's why a car has a steering wheel too. Just saying, it's okay to change. I think I've been saying that to you guys for 3 months, this being the 3rd month. The Strength card is about your intuition as well. Let's go back to that. Third eye, as I always say when I see this card. This is not about physical strength. It is about strength of character, strength of mind. Not how smart you are, but how confident you are, how you use your skill sets. It's about using your intuition as well. It's about power over your environment. The Devil card is the opposite of power over your environment. It's the opposite of control over your life. People think the Strength card is the opposite of the Devil card. It is not. Temperance is the opposite of the Devil card. Temperance and the Devil card go together because temperance asks us to carefully measure those things that bring us pleasure. It's about balance and equilibrium. The Devil card is about excessiveness, right? That's why the Temperance card is the opposite. The Strength card is here for you to be self-confident and to move forward. The Knight of Cups is moving forward. There may be someone you want to tell how you feel and give a love offer or offer of emotion. Just do it. Just do it. Don't be afraid, the Devil energy. Don't be stuck in your head with the Two of Swords. Be more like the Page of Wands. Page of Wands has dreams, hopes, aspiration. Not a lot of experience, but he's not a bad person. He wants to see some things take shape. Now, I can tell you how to get the Page of Wands to a knight and to a king. But more importantly, just ground the energy. That's with that earth energy. That's back to the Queen of Pentacles. That's that practicality. That's that sure thing. If you like someone, first thing off is be like the Page of Wands. Let them know. Let them have it, right? If you want to be close to someone, tell them. And then grounding the energy is after they make their answer, especially if it's a yes, Pentacle energy, grounding the energy, earth energy. What does that mean? Pentacles is always about time. It's always about investment, value, right? Spending valuable time with them is how you're going to see if this energy is going to move from a thought to a real thing. Whatever this is, whether it's work or whether it's play, whether it's relationships, there's something that you want to happen, and you're only going to get this thing if you go ahead and make your moves. Let the changes happen and fuck how everybody else feels. I don't see you doing anything bad here. None of the effed up cards came out. And if this is about somebody else in your life, I don't see them doing anything bad except changing their mind. You can't be mad at that, Virgo. And if somebody's mad at you for changing yours, remember, anger after someone chooses to not be with you is only pride. It's not love. So they may pridefully tell you they love you and that they need you to stay. But if someone loved you and you told them you weren't happy, they would let you go and try and find their own happy. Relationships. Relationships are just mirror images of your own life. How you feel and treat yourself, as well as how you react and respond to different situations and people around you. Be aware that every relationship is an opportunity for soul growth. What did I say, y'all? Rock that mole, rock that gap like you own it, and everybody else will love it. I think I said this to you last month. After you make your moves and you just be like, yeah, this is what I'm doing. Believe it or not, there are people that are going to be like, yeah, all right. They're going to start to see the light. And they're going to accept it. You are not alone. We are here for you. We never left. Through all the sadness and loneliness, however, you cannot sense us near you or feel how much we love you. We are sending you love. We are your family and your friends and your guides. You never walk alone. We walk right beside you. Okay, yeah. I'm going to just pull this card because this is what we've been talking about. You are destined for greatness on the wings of love. To clarify, Virgo, listen closely. This sums it all up. To clarify, the primary roles of love are not to heal, not to fix, and not to mend, not to soothe, not to cure or ease, not even to refresh, rejuvenate, or restore. Hardly. The primary roles of love are to Yahoo, Yeehaw, and Woohoo. Exactly. When love is no longer being served, get up from the table, and whoever doesn't want to leave the table, not your problem, their problem. Seriously. Love is a pure thing. It's organic. Sometimes it fizzles out. Just saying. It's part of life. It's part of change. All right, Virgo, that's been your reading. Y'all know I could stay here and chop it up with y'all all day. Listen, look at your 7th house in relationships. That would be Pisces for you guys. Look at your 10th house in career. I've made these videos all the same with the same setup. So there's a lot of good, juicy information and a lot of what Spirit is trying to offer you, and maybe even some blocks in other areas that you could use to your benefit. All right. Also, too, this being Cancer season, I have left a list of numbers in the box below. Also, too, you guys can email me for personal readings if you would like to. There's also a link for that in the description box. I'm trying to think of anything else that I wanted to say. I think that's it. Have a great rest of your day, and namaste, Virgo. I love you.